I'm Matt Golden.
I'm Tyler St. Clair, and you're rocking with Press Play Live.
Ty, you guys are both Christians, but I'm gonna ask you, Matt, about this, and then I'm gonna ask you in regards to just being a pastor. Like when you guys are on, because I follow you on Facebook, and sometimes you might jump on there and you may address like issues, and I've seen people even comment like, "What are you talking about?" Like, how do you, how do you deal with maybe your peers? Because Facebook, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people on there are like your actual friends, or go to the church or whatever, and they kind of are taken back about you taking this stand because you're like the, like the cool white guy in the city that, people, that actually will talk and address racism. I'm sure that people that, Restore do that too, but how do you feel about that? Like how do you address that situation with, your peers?
For better or worse, like I said earlier, I think my voice is harder to ignore for white people. Because they can't write it off. They try to sometimes, like, even when I was in high school, I mean, like, I got the trying to be black thing, like, I got, talk white. What does that mean? So I kind of see my position, like, I want to play my position well. And it's not to be an instigator. It kind of is, it's kind of be an agitator in a way. To stir up actual discussion, because Facebook hopefully will lead to something else. White people see, and I say it in a general sense, not every single white person, but white America sees issues and they see what they see, right? They see what they see, but they don't see what they're seeing through. They don't have any notion of the lens through which they see these current events, right? So, through a privileged lens, through an unexposed lens, like, they haven't interacted with it, it hasn't touched them, so in a lot of cases, I don't want to be too general. But so I do see my position as a way to kind of muddy up that lens, to like chuck dirt at it, whatever I have to do to make you aware of the fact that there's something between the issue and your eye that you're actually seeing through. Like, let me ruffle a couple feathers in order to hopefully boil something up so that I can calm it back down, because a lot of times you see the discussions on Facebook, they don't know that when I'm actually talking with other people about this, I'm not so one-sided. Like, I'm one-sided publicly to hopefully winsomely pull in a direction like, here, come look. Like, here, oh, you don't think so? Just come look. Like, all right, let's take this offline and have a real discussion.
And then it's good too that you back it up with a lot of facts or intelligence, instead of it just being, something that's threw out there and it's not backed up with some sort of facts or something that people can research. So that also helps too.
Yeah, no, it does, and I hope to be like he was saying, you can't just speak from complete ignorance. You can't just be like, I heard someone say this and it sounded good, so rah, I'm with it. Because that gets people nowhere. You chase your tail, you're around a circle, you never make any progress.
It's crazy. People, like, just not to jump off the subject, but people, Ty, they'll feel some type of way about something they really don't know anything about. Like, no facts or anything.
That's how I feel.
So, yeah. But go ahead, man. I apologize.
No, so I deal with it in a way, like, thankfully I got people like Tyler and my pastor Mike Hannafy, even Cleet and other brothers close to me like Randy Wimbley, Wadsworth, that offer multifaceted perspectives and check me, right? Because I want to be like, Matt, that's not helpful. Sometimes you're just trying to brew up a storm, because I need that. Like, so I deal with it because I have brothers close to me that kind of keep me in check and keep me in the tracks. And they're like, hey man, thanks but no thanks. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I just want to. I want to be persistent. I want to be faithful to this thing. I want to play my position well.
Now, Ty, I want to ask you a slightly different question with this, because you're a pastor, and a lot of people are not Christians anymore, especially in Detroit, or they go to church, and church has become something. We're gonna talk about that later, but it's not the essence of church or the way church used to be.
Right.
Had a lot of, you know, different ministries. So when you post something, being a pastor, because it's like 1,000,002 churches, but I'm pretty sure a couple of guys that you grown up with, and I'm pretty sure you probably ruffled a few feathers. How do you deal with your non-Christian friends, you know, talking or commenting on the things that you may post about God and Jesus and things of that nature?
It's so funny that
and you go to a multicultural church,
yeah,
and have, you know.
Yeah, I usually get a lot of when I was young, my grandmother used to always say something real simple to me. I was born and raised in church. My grandmother took me to church.
Okay.
My grandma used to always say, "Baby,
you're a preacher's kid."
Huh?
You're a preacher's kid.
No, not a preacher's kid. No,
Okay,
my grandma
okay.
just you know, sing.
Had to go every Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Broken arm, coma, dead. You gonna be in church on Sunday? That was my grandma, no. But my grandma used to just say the most simple things, the most simple but theologically rich things. She used to put her hands on my shoulders and say, "Baby, they criticized Jesus. They gonna talk about you. Baby, they killed Jesus. They talked about Jesus, so you gonna get criticized." So what I usually do, because it's funny, he agitates the
Anglos.
the Anglos, and I'll put something on there. And black people would just be like, "Oh, what are you doing, Uncle this? What are you thinking?"
Really?
Oh yeah, because I'll call if I see we are or black people are out of pocket with something. I'll say, "Bam, flag on the play, penalty, 15 yards. We out of pocket." And same thing if I see something see injustice from white people. So what I try to do is I try to use humor. Humor is a tool I try to use often because I found that humor takes a lot of the tension out, and you can have a conversation as opposed to just coming out, bam, like Malcolm X, just coming out, bam, bull in the china shop. So I try to use humor, and I also, I kind of like to stir up things a little bit too, to get conversation going. There was a conversation I put on Facebook a few months ago because I had a conversation with a denominational leader, and we were talking. I said, "Can I ask you a question? Why is it expected for black pastors to struggle financially, work their jobs, when my predecessors and my contemporaries in the suburbs, they don't have these same problems?" So I put that on Facebook, and I got a lot of response from black and white.
That's a great question.
I'm a question asker, you know, because most of my friends that are pastors, I got a friend who's a carpenter. He lays cement and does manual labor 50, 60 hours a week, and then still has to muster up something to serve his people and preach a sermon on Sunday. While I know guys in the suburbs, right out of seminary, they've never worked a job. So why do we have these discrepancies? So I ask questions. You know, I don't always just say, "Here's how I feel," and just throw it out there. I'll just pose a question to see how other people feel, and if like Matt said, if it get too tense, I'll say, "Hey, you got my cell phone number? Holla at me, text me, smoke signal, whatever, email me. You know, holla at me if you got a problem with something I said. We men, we can talk about it." But yeah, I usually ask questions instead of, because I notice that's more powerful than automatically just throwing your opinion out there, because after a while your voice gets dull. People just get sick of hearing it. So I float a question out there. So.